Good morning.
Natalie, thanks for joining today, Natalie. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on.
So this is our first episode of Lender Showcase, and I couldn't be more than happy to have you on here because you are the business development manager from Alta West. And
Yes.
Alta West is an alternative lender where many of the people have no idea how alternative lenders actually work.
hmm
What can and can't be done through the alternative channel is always something that people are kind of lost in the sauce about. Um, but also having you on is going to be a great opportunity to discuss the relationships that brokers have with the business development managers and how, as a team, we work together to get those deals done that people are shocked. Like, how did you? We went to you and you got it done, and we went to this person and nothing was done. Well, a lot
Right.
of the times it has more to do with the relationship between you and I getting things done versus just the broker itself, right? So, uh,
Absolutely.
and of course, we want to make sure we highlight the great products and services and options that Alta West has.
hmm
So, first things first, Natalie, why don't we have a little quick discussion about alternative channel, like what type of clients are designed for the alternative space?
Sure. So thank you very much for that, Michelle. And we have seen a huge uptick in private lending across Canada in the recent years. And this is due to several factors, predominantly the tightening restrictions with financial institutions, trust companies, our regulators, the implementation of the stress test, debt servicing ratios. Quite often we're finding that folks are unable to tick off all the boxes required to get qualified on the prime side. So that's where alternative lenders come in to help. And, it's been remarkable. I have seen the gap between prime lending and private lending narrow significantly. In the
Mm,
past couple years, we have really come to the table in terms of our offerings. Our rates start at 5.99. And
right.
again, with that less restrictive qualification that we offer, we really are able to help a lot of folks that otherwise would be out of solutions.
Mm. And 5.99 is something to speak about because 2 years ago, you were getting a 6% mortgage on the A side,
Right.
right? So it does
Yes.
show how the prices, even on the alternative side, have scaled back a little bit. Opposed to having a 9.99
Yes.
first, you can now get something as low as a 5.99,
hmm
which a small mortgage is an affordable deal, right, for many individuals, especially if they don't have the proper documentation to approve on the A side there. So um, now let's do a quick little rundown of some of the products and services of Alta West because you have Express, but you also have Flex, and there's a bunch of information there. So we'll kind of pulse through that.
hmm
And it looks like we also have a question. Is Alta West based only in the West Coast? Thanks for joining the podcast. So,
Great
actually, I think
question.
we'll jump into that question right
Yeah.
away. So,
Thank
where
you,
does Alta
Scott.
West lend?
So, great question, Scott. Alta West is based out of Alberta. However, we also service British Columbia and Ontario. So,
Right.
thank you for asking. Yes.
Yeah, and that's a brilliant question because not every lender lends everywhere.
hmm
And it is important to remember that. So let's pivot back to the product shelf here of what Alta West can offer, both
Yes.
from residential to maybe mixed residential and multi-unit as well.
Absolutely. So, yes, we do lend on residential properties. We have first and second mortgage offerings. We also lend on multi-res up to 15 units and mixed use properties as well in major urban areas. And we do offer a HELOC product as well in second position. So, aside from even our standard first and second offerings, we do have a full product suite to meet everybody's needs.
Yeah, and one of the advantages to Alta West is you do have not a no doc, but more of a low doc approach for especially individuals who run their own businesses. Right, you're not looking for T1 generals and the full reports. You can get away with a little bit of a low doc approach, of course, depending on loan to value. Correct?
100%. Our niche clientele is definitely, without a doubt, business for self clients. Like you said, we do not require an NOA. We do not request T1 generals. We are truly a stated income lender, meaning that we want to see all of the client's gross income included on the application. Okay, that's really going to beef up the entire profile of the loan and strengthen the loan application. So we're not looking for net, we're always looking for gross. And 75% LTV or less, it is truly a stated income program, meaning that the client will write down what they make gross and sign off on it. If we are requesting income verification, what we're looking for is 3 months bank statements, which is far, far less than what your standard banks or B lenders would request, which is usually a minimum of 12 months bank
Yeah.
statements up to 24 months, right? So we're
Yeah.
only requesting 3 months, which is super helpful for a lot of folks.
Yeah, and that's a really low doc approach because 3 month bank statements is essentially just trying to derive deposits and whatnot to show that you have the capability to pay the loan, right?
Right.
So it dovetails to being an equity focused lender as well, right? Like you like the security to be there, and then you put the onus on the client to say, hey, can you afford this mortgage? Once it's proven to afford the mortgage and the security is there, then you're comfortable to move forward, right? Um,
Absolutely.
and like you mentioned, other business for self, it can be 12 months, 24 months. Deposits have to be invoice supported and whatnot, or it's full tax returns and T1s, T2s if it's a corp and you're trying to do something. So if it is that kind of quick turnaround and you do need that capital for something short term quickly, this is where you do come in as a great alternative, right? Because you do have like a 6 month product, right? You do have a 1 year product. And the main thing too that I do want to discuss is the quick turnaround times that Alta West does provide people.
Yes, absolutely. So what I would suggest is that you run the deal by BDMs first, and that's where our roles really come into play, right? So every lender works a little bit differently. What happens is when you run the deal by me first, I can help you structure the deal to make sure that it's set up for success as soon as it's submitted, right? It just avoids any back and forth between, the broker and the underwriter, and it gets those approvals out within a few hours. So from submission to commitment time, you're looking at a 3 to 6 hour turnaround window there, before you receive the commitment to provide to your clients. Now, in terms of funding time from start to finish, we can fund in as soon as 3 business days. And again, speaking about my role as a BDM, what I would suggest is that if you have a quick closing, get me involved in that right from the beginning so I can help stick handle the file to funding and make sure that it gets funded on time.
Yeah, and that's an important point because a lot of mortgage brokers, they like to brag about what they can do, right? Like, well, we got this done, the other people could. What they're not talking about is a lot of these deals that get done in a quick period of time, or I can't believe this got done at this with this when I was sitting on someone else's desk. It has more to do with the relationship between the broker and the lender and the BDM than other things, right? Because if I have a deal that's, let's just say, not perfect, right? It's got some holes in it that we need to plug up. I'm not going to just submit that and then put the onus on the underwriter to clean it all up. But the first thing we do is you and I, we would set up a call and be like, hey, like this is the deal, this is what's going on, this is what I have. What more do I need? And how do we get this deal to fit Alta West's box? So then it goes through that 24-hour approval and we can get it done in 5 business days if needed, right? So that's a very important thing that I also want to bring up with this series is it's the behind the scenes individual that don't get any credit that really get a lot of these deals to the finish line, right? So, and you're really great at that, Natalie. As a group, my team has done some deals with you, and everything works perfectly, as we like to say. And we've sent some opportunities, and sometimes it doesn't work just because location or whatever, or the deal just doesn't fit out the West. But that's where we would have that conversation before even submitting. Like, is this even viable, right? So no one's time's wasted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so we've looked over a bunch of things here. A couple of other things that we do want to review is you do have the 35-year amortizations as well.
Yes.
So there is that affordability option of extending out the AMs. Um, and also you have, as we know, the multi-residential and mixed use, which not every MIC does that stuff, right? So that would be a more of a DSR approach for approval. So the building itself would have to show that it could actually maintain the mortgage essentially, right? Opposed to personal income, right?
Yes.
Um, and that's a great thing to have because if you need capital out of one of your multi units, you don't have all your documents together, you need it right away. This is where Alta West would jump in really quick, as long as the loan to value meets the standards, right? Um,
Yes.
and you guys would be able to fund something like that where other mix, they're not going to do up to 15 units, or they're not going to do a mixed use property, right? So
Yeah.
uh, really great to have you on board as one of our lenders. And I hope other brokers watch this and think, wow, there's a lot of options there at Alta West that a lot of other lenders don't have.
Thank you so much. I appreciate those kind words. And I just want to say that it has been my sincere pleasure to work with you, Brandon, Kathy, and the team. You are some of the best professionals that I've met in the industry. So thank you very much for your partnership. We really
Well, I
appreciate it.
appreciate that. I appreciate that, Natalie. Now, is there anything else you wanted to bring up? You do have a HELOC product if you want to have a little
Yes.
quick chat about that before we let you go.
Mhm.
Um, and it's a 65%, but there's also a 75% loan to value option on the HELOC too.
That's right. There's both options available. And again, this is designed to be in second position. It gives the borrower the flexibility to borrow money as they wish. So if they want to withdraw a minimum of $5,000 upon funding, they can. Up to $500,000 is our max approval there. And again, it's a very simple process to access those funds. They request funds the day before and they receive the funds the following day. So very, very seamless product and very, very popular product as well. And I did also want to mention that we do have a high ratio product for purchases in major urban areas. So
Right.
we are the only lender that will go to 83%
Mhm.
LTV on a purchase on the private side. So this could be very advantageous and helpful to those folks that maybe are business for self purchasing homes, or maybe they need a quick close within 10 days or something. So, we see this
Yeah,
in circumstances where maybe the deal falls apart at the last minute with another lender and we still need to close within 10 days, or just as an
right.
example, right? A quick time frame. So Alta West can come in and help with those situations as well.
Right. And what's important with that is if you are looking at, I believe it's 83% loan to value is the max. If you
Mhm.
are looking into that, if you are in that situation, we have to send the address to you right away and find
Yes,
out, is this the location where an 83% LTV is going to work?
yes.
And also, if we are going to be going that direction, we have to make sure that there is a strategy for the client to get
Mm-hmm.
out, right? Like,
That's
is that
right.
a 1 year product or is it a 2 year product for the 83%?
2 year product.
So with 2 years, you do have the option to either pay it down or hopefully there's some appreciation in the housing market to be able to get us that extra little bit of appraisal room there to get you to
Mm-hmm.
another lender at 80% or below, right? So it's great to have those options. Imperative that we have a solution on the tail end too, because we don't want that client to all of a sudden have an issue in 2 years or a year and a half. So those are the great conversations that we have behind the scenes about what the exit strategy would look like, but also how to get that deal across the finish line. Uh,
100%. And thank you for talking about exit plan as well, because that is very important to us at Alta West. In fact, all of our 24-month mortgage products are fully open after 12 months. So if client is able to graduate out from a private lender to a financial institution sooner, then that's even better. But keeping in mind with the 83% product, we do require a minimum Beacon score of 690 on that product, right? And we are looking for a TDS of 60%. And really, it just ties back into what you were saying, is that we want to make sure that the client can graduate out of that product with ease. We're also implementing principal and interest payments with that type of loan to make sure that the client is paying down the principal, again, helping facilitate a seamless exit out from the private space.
Right, and that's perfect. Well, Natalie, I think that was a great 10 odd minutes of conversation that we had. Unless there's anything else you want to mention, I think that was a great learning experience for everybody when it comes to what Alta West can offer and also what the alternative space is really designed for. It's more of a temporary solution, and you have to understand that there has to be a plan at the end of it. There are great lenders like Alta West that will help you out, but remember, they can only help you out so much. We have to come together and find a solution to find that other lender at the end of it. Uh, then it's just great that you guys have those options for our people, and we can love to continue to working with you. And there are many brokers that have joined watching, and I hope many of them, if they haven't used Alta West yet, give Alta West a shot.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on today. This was so much fun. And yes, I look forward to watching your other Instagram lives in the future.
Awesome. Thank you, Natalie, so much.
You're
And
welcome.
have a good rest of your day, okay?
You too. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.